All right. What's up, everyone? Asia. I'm Asia Branch. For those of you who are new to the channel, I have created this channel specifically to just jump into my creative space that I like doing, creating my cartoons, my music videos, all that jazz. Talked about it on my last live about how that's been my main focus, and that's why I went to Substack. And I've been trying really, really hard not to be so political on this channel because, again, I think it's so oversaturated political commentary. But as I stated in my last live, I'm getting super, super pissed with the commentary. I'm getting super, super pissed with Trump's administration. I'm tired of eating crow. I'm supporting Nick Fuentes, or at least I like Nick Fuentes and the things that he's saying about what's happening with MAGA and who really is America first. Getting more information about Israel and more that's come from MTG and more from this feud. And I'm going to go on another rant about it all. And no, this is, not planned. Again, I'm on my way home from work. I'm always doing something different. I'm either doing my cartoons or I'm on my way home from work and just more stuff is popping in my feed about something with MTG and Trump. And of course, Trump is looking bad, in my opinion, as well as a lot of young Americans, a lot of populists, a lot of independents, a lot of 18 to 35-year-olds, with the exception of some of the commentators. And I'm going to go off on almost all of them. Now, I'm not going to share any screens. Again, this is going to be made available as audio as well. So sharing screens is just not going to happen. I'm not even trying to do all of that here. I'm liking just letting it out. But I'm getting annoyed. And generally, this is where I would say, I'll hold off. Let me see if anybody else is going to hop on the live. But you know what? I don't even want to wait for that. I just want to jump right in. I'm so sick of him. He goes ahead and he says he's just going to withdraw his support from MTG in her race. He wants to primary her. All of this we found out in my last rant, right? I mean, this isn't new. This happened over the weekend. But now everybody's jumping down her throat because she goes on CNN and she apologizes for having contributed to the rise in dangerous political rhetoric. And you know how once upon a time she didn't care about how it was hurting people, about how it was hurting her political opponents, political adversaries, that, it's just words. She's only responsible for herself. It is what it is. But since Charlie Kirk's death, she's really thinking about how rhetoric can lead to this type of violence. And so she apologizes. She says it's fair criticism. She takes accountability. I mean, isn't that what conservatism is supposed to be? Personal responsibility, holding oneself accountable. She does that. But because it's on CNN, everybody got a problem with it. I'm so over Trump and I'm so over these commentators. Megyn Kelly, Brandon Tatum, ABL, Benny Johnson. And that's just to say the least. I'm so sick of Trump. He keeps thinking that he is everything MAGA, and he isn't. What he's not getting is that people voted for him, specifically young people voted for him this time around because they all believed that he would continue to be anti-establishment and that his first term didn't go all the way America first because it was the military industrial complex that was stopping him in his agenda. And now we're starting to realize it's a bunch of hogwash. A total bunch of hogwash. And I'm sick of these people defending him and his administration. There's no defending 600,000 Chinese nationals. There's no defending regime change war in Venezuela. There's no defending continuously sending money into Israel. There's no defending bombing Iran. There's no defending any of this, but they want to back him and then call her a traitor when she calls him out on his crap. You're going to let your people campaign for you about Epstein and the files. But then when you get into office, you don't want to do it. And honestly, it looks like he conceded the fight. He's acting as if that this was his decision. Like him putting out that truth post did anything. Like that was supposed to say what? That looks like you're the one who bent the knee, not Marjorie. Marjorie won that battle. She did. For Trump to just sit there and assume, oh, well, know what? I'm all for it. I agree. I think we should release it, even though I think it's a hoax. Stop fronting. Marjorie won this round. And for him to say, I don't think anybody cares enough about her. This woman just said that her son is getting death threats, Trump. Ever since you called her a traitor, she's saying that her son is getting death threats. Ever since you called her a traitor. So don't say that people don't care enough about her when she's saying, look, I'm sorry, I didn't realize how bad it could be until it came my way. Fair criticism. I think she owned it. I think she took accountability for her own bad actions. And she's trying to lead by example. They're starting to really piss me off, and MTG is really the only one. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. I don't know how many of you have been watching a lot more of MTG lately, but I've been tracking her on Twitter. And earlier today, she just did a video that I think just is going to hurt Trump even more, especially after that Laura Ingraham interview. He says you got to bring the talent in because there's no talent here in America. And what does she say today? What does she release first thing in the morning? I'm dropping an H-1B visa kill bill. 10,000 a year are allowed to come in on those visas. That's the cap, and it's specific for medicine, specialties and surgeons and nurses with mandatory training programs for Americans, and it is to only last 10 years. That's Marjorie's plan for ending H-1B visas. Making sure Americans are trained because she has faith that we can be trained quickly, that we can become the specialists in these areas of medicine, and then we can kick those visa holders out of the country. Thank you for training us. We're grateful to you. Now go home. That's her plan with H-1B visa. What did he say? Oh, we got to do more of those. So already she kicked his ass in the Epstein. She drops a video saying she's doing a bill, and let's call a spade. Any Republican that does not vote in favor of her bill to kill the H-1B visas with that one modification, that one exception, we know who you are. We know who you are. This fight is about America first versus everybody else. Personally, I do have a theory for why she went on to CNN and why she went on The View. I think she is trying to reach voters between the ages of 40 and up. And whatever young people are watching the clips that they clip for TikTok and whatever, I think she's trying to let them know that there is a populace, that there is someone on the right who wants to make change, who is anti-establishment, who wants to put young voters first, young Americans first. That they're not all socialists, that they're not all AOCs and Mamdanis. This is what a populist sounds like. And they're all just against it. These moderates are freaking killing me. I'm so sick of them. And even the new media, again, it's a bunch of sameness. I don't want to be political on this channel. I just want to do my cartoons. But my gosh, every day there's something different from one of these moderates, from one of these Israel first people, Brandon Tatum. I feel like he's definitely getting paid the $7,000 to talk about Israel in a positive way. I swear he is. I feel like he just is. He doesn't offer anything intellectual in a conversation about his support for Israel. He just likes to tear people down who are against it. Oh boy, here we go. For any of you who watched him recently on Piers Morgan's show, Uncensored, he offered nothing to that conversation, to that debate, nothing at all. Cenk was on it. I don't even like Cenk's politics. I totally disagree with him. Totally disagree with him. He does not believe that we need a theocracy in America. And I totally disagree. I think we do need a theocracy. I think America should be Christian led. I do think the president should be Christian. I think all of our laws should reflect Christianity and nothing less. Cenk is totally against that. With that said, he's acknowledging that there is a legit rift within MAGA. But what does Brandon Tatum and Megyn Kelly and Benny Johnson and ABL want to do? They want to clap at Marjorie. But she's the only vocal populist. She goes on these shows so she can reach the young people and any other American who's anti-establishment to let them know that there are populists on the right. That's what they need to start doing. And she's the only one doing it. She's the only One. What the hell is the matter with Trump and all the rest of them? They all want to support Israel, but do you know that Israel just demanded, not asked, they demanded a 20-year plan, security deal, I should say. They want 20-year deal on the table, right? Which is double the normal amount of years. Because usually a deal's like for 10 years, they get money from the United States government. Apparently, I just found this out. Every 10, for 10 years, that's how long a deal lasts. Now they want 20 years, where every year for the next 20 years, between now to 2045, that they secure billions and more billions of dollars from the American taxpayer. And the reason why they're trying to rush it right now under Trump is because they feel like this is the only time that they're going to be able to get it, because 18 to 30-year-olds are going to be the majority voting bloc for the next 40, 50 years. And we will cut that off no matter who wins. If it's a leftist, because that's the only people who are going to win on the left, right? You're not going to run a moderate as a Democratic candidate and think you're going to win the presidency or win your primary. The primaries are going to show that they're most likely going to choose not a Ben Shapiro. Excuse me, not Ben Shapiro, but what's the governor from Pennsylvania? Him. I'm so sick of it. You're going to have radicals on the left running. And so we need someone, a populist who understands how we feel on the right, who understands change is required, who you can't just run the status quo. You have someone who says that we cannot continue to fund Israel's nonsense and they want to up the ante to 20 years. That's not America first, it's Israel first. But you want to clap at her, Megan. Oh, she's cozying up to the left. Brandon Tate, Marjorie's folding. She went and apologized on CNN. ABL, she apologized. She's so disloyal. And Benny Johnson is completely downplaying this Epstein thing and giving credit to Trump for backing the decision of the vote that's happening tomorrow. Hogwash. He took the knee. He was getting the pressure. He was seeing that he was losing his grip on control over the so-called MAGA movement, the movement that he created. You didn't create Jack Stocko. You gave it a much more marketable name than the silent majority. And that name is no longer fitting because we're not silent anymore. But we are the majority. And to completely ignore that the MAGA movement grew to be this big because young people came into it, that independents came into it. We came in because we were anti-establishment. We were always anti-establishment because that means America first. America first means the Fed has to go away. America first means an American dollar for the American people. America first means only opportunity for Americans. America first means no regime change wars. Stop trying to bail everybody out. No more globalist nonsense. They completely loved her when she was roasting Jasmine Crockett about the fake eyelashes and her fake hair and her fake nails. Completely loved her when she was doing that. But when she takes accountability for contributing to political violence via her rhetoric, and granted, she's not to blame for anybody on the right sending death threats to people on the left. Not saying that I think it's the same, because I think the people on the left are just far more violent. They're the ones taking shots. Doesn't mean the death threats aren't terrifying for the person receiving them. Especially for a woman whose son is now getting death threats because the president called her a traitor. I mean, she wasn't saying her son was getting death threats before. Not until she betrayed Trump. Oh, well, no one cares. No one cares enough about her. Tell that to her son, Trump. She's a traitor, Brandon Tatum says. That, she called it because she's backing off. She's changing. No, she isn't. She isn't. She's Mr. Smith goes to Washington. She was a normal person, got so fed up with government. She runs for office. She wins, goes to Washington, says, you all suck. You're killing us in America. She's trying to do something about it. And yeah, she did say, well, we do need to keep some immigrants. Don't deport everyone because it could hurt the industry of which I built my business. But then she started listening to young people and realized, you know what? Train Americans. Stop printing money. Americans can do these jobs. She's listening to her constituents over what she needs for her personal business. That's what a representative does. But do they acknowledge that? No. My gosh. I'm so sick and tired of these moderates. I'm sick of them. And Cenk was the only one that was saying it. He was the only one that was saying it. And he even mentioned all the polls that we were seeing on social media, not real polls, like as far as elections and that are concerned. Personally, I think she's fine in her district. I don't think she's trying to run for Senate or for governor or for president in 2020. I don't think she's trying to do any of that. I think she's trying to set the stage for what MAGA really is, because Trump is gone come 2029. So establishing what is really America first. Is it just a BS lie, or is it really about something important? And she's establishing that right now. She's not waiting to the midterms to say it. She's saying it right now. Trump's numbers amongst young people totally down. Down, I think, like minus 20 something points. And as far as young people are concerned, real populists and independents are like 60 to 70% in favor of Marjorie Taylor Greene. Not surprised. And these are between 18 to 30 crowd. Me, I'm 30. I'm on her side. Cenk totally said MAGA is into this is in has three brackets: independents, populists, and diehard Trump supporters. Where do you think Brandon Tatum and them are? Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, myself, Marjorie Taylor Greene, we're in the populist movement. We're not the independents, because we're not the person who says, oh, I'm this, that, I can vote Democrat. No, I'm not voting for a part. I'm not vote. I can never vote for the Democrat Party. Just can't do it. I don't know about Tucker. He probably did once upon a time, but let's call a spade. We're in the populist movement, the populist side, and we're taking the majority. Populists and independents are pissed with the president and his administration. We're sick of him. And I'm sick of you pundits, you Benny Johnson and Brandon Tatum. I'm over all of you. I'm so over all of you. He literally says that there's no talent in America, and you want to clap at Marjorie? You know why they're saying that? Because they're making a lot of money, making their $7,000 from Israel. We say that there's actual reporting, legit reporting about Epstein being best friends with the previous Israeli prime minister, that we know that he's involved with multiple foreign intelligence agencies, including Mossad. And you want to say, oh, here we go. We just find out that Kesh Patel and the FBI lied about the guy who shot at Trump in Pennsylvania. You want us to believe everything they're saying about Charlie Kirk when we just found out that they lied about the guy who's tried to kill Trump? What is the matter with you pundits? But you want to question Marjorie for going on a CNN and apologizing for her own bad behavior, for apologizing for contributing to rhetoric that she thinks is leading to more political violence. And she has every right to hold herself accountable, especially after Charlie Kirk is assassinated because of intense rhetoric. Again, she can only take responsibility for her own actions. We're not saying that it's the same on the right as it is from the left, but she's allowed to do that. So sick of everybody. I swear I'm sick of them. And I can't wait. Because now that the reporting is out, Israel wants more money from us. They want more money. They are demanding it. So what say you, Brandon? What say you, ABL? Were we bugging then? Was Marjorie bugging when she says they just want more money from us? That this is not America first, to keep printing and sending money? We can't afford it. We don't have the money. The only way to continue to fund them would be to print more. That's not America first, to continue to trash the dollar. She says don't flood the market with cheap labor. What say you? Megan, I don't know what she's doing. She's more clever than we give her credit for. I don't know what you're talking about. She's a normal person who sees what the problems are. She's got children who are Gen Zers, and I believe her oldest is a millennial. I think. I just know they're somewhere between Gen Z and millennial. So she knows what their problems are. She's been consistent. Trump isn't. And this is the thing that none of you want to acknowledge. This is why channels who have not been political for God knows how long are getting political. This is why I'm screaming at the screen. Why I'm not even taking the time to share screens and no, pull it up, look it up yourself. You want to AI it, Grok it, Chat GPT it, Google it. I don't care. Find it yourself on YouTube. She's already dropped a bill, ready to drop a bill to kill the H-1B visas with a minor exception, which I can tolerate because yes, we do need the doctors. We do need the training. And our universities suck ass. I mean, let's call a spade. Let's call a spade. I like her idea for H-1B visas. I like her idea of suspending all foreign aid, not sending out any more money. I like the fact that she went to battle over Epstein and won. There's no other way to characterize this because this back and forth has been lasting for like a week and change between her and Trump, at least from what we could see in the public. Who knows how long this has been going on behind the scenes. But from what we can tell, this back and forth has been going on for a little over a week. And the reality is that she was pushing for her, Thomas Massie, Nancy Mace, Lauren Boebert. There is not as public as Massie and MTG. But you don't go on telling people I'm not sure if I'm going to release them, and this is a hoax, and by the Clintons, and like what? You've been saying that for months now, trying not to talk about it. We all remember when you had your cabinet meeting, you said, Epstein, are we still talking about that guy? Now, all of a sudden, you're in favor of the vote. That is you losing the battle, Trump. And none of you want to characterize it that way. No, she's the bad guy because she won. We need extremists on our side. And we need pundits and media podcasters who are going to say that. People who are not just Nick Fuentes. We need someone to say it. Marjorie Taylor Greene is more America first. Trump is not. The mission was never Trumpism. It was always America first. Trump was just the champion for the past decade. And now we know he's not it. This isn't about backing a person. It's always been about the mission. This is about choosing the right person, the right champion, the right Pokemon. I choose you. Who do we trust the most to bring the agenda forward? It's not Trump anymore. These last couple of weeks, it's been bad for him. I look at that Laura Ingraham interview that he did. My gosh, I was telling my sister when I watched it that, it's a good thing that he won because that was his Kamala Harris interview on The View. This was such an easy question. All he had to say was, we are going to kill H-1B visas. We're going to have one exception as it relates to this, that, and the third. Pretty much Marjorie Taylor Greene's idea. We need to train our Americans. For the next 10 years, I'm going to do this, and then we're ending H-1Bs completely. That was the answer. Her idea was the answer. It was easy. As easy as, what would you do differently, Kamala, than President Biden? It was such an easy question for him. It was his Kamala Harris moment on The View. It was an easy question. He totally botched it. And then we are supposed to like what he's doing? To agree with what he's saying? She's the traitor. Marjorie Taylor Greene's the traitor. She won the battle, though. He was all against Epstein. All against the files being released. She won. Once upon a time, he was for ending H-1B visas. Now he's like, let's keep it going. He was all, China is our enemy. He wants to let 600,000 nationals in. He was all about letting these universities fail by pulling their funding. Now he's going to make sure that they continue to get them, because how else are you going to make sure that these students get there? You're just going to let them rape the pockets of China to send these kids there? You were all save America, but you want to sign off on this deal with Israel for 20 years to send billions of dollars to Israel? And they're only doing this because they know in 2029, we're going to cut these suckers off. It's done. We're not doing this with you anymore. We're done. I'm so sick of all these people. All of them. From the pundits in new media to Mike Johnson in the House to Lindsey Graham in the Senate. And then all the way at the top, Donald Trump. I liked him. He was our guy. He was the champion. But now we have to start asking ourselves, is he America first? No. We have to start asking ourselves, are the people who we watched for the past 10 years and pretty much built their audience for by watching them for the past 10 years, are they really down with America first? Or were they just trying to make money? Were they just trying to be political pundits and get access to the White House? Because honestly, I look at Benny Johnson, I look at ABL, I look at Brandon Tatum. These guys are getting into the White House. They're sitting in the new media seats. They had that access at the White House to Trump, to, Caroline Leavitt, I believe the press secretary's name is. Forgive me if I get it wrong. I know it's Caroline. And I don't even like Brandon Tatum sitting there. He doesn't ask any intellectual questions. He doesn't ask anything that offers anything of substance or intellectual anything to a conversation at all. When he speaks about the failings of Black America, when he speaks about the failings of community and family, he got it. But when it comes to offering any kind of an insight intellectually, he's got nothing to offer. Stop bringing him in. But he comes into the White House sitting in the new media seat in the press briefing room. Why? Why? You want your access. You want your money. You're doing all of this stuff, Brandon. I swear, he's the one that gets on my nerve the most out of all of them. It's Brandon Tatum. And it's because I remember him saying on a live, I don't think we were Judeo-Christian once upon a time. I think that changed. And then a total 180. It's Brandon that's killing me the most. ABL, I didn't really watch him all like that. Benny Johnson, I wasn't really watching him like that. But Brandon Tatum, I liked Officer Tatum. I liked him. And now I think he's cashing in $7,000 per post. I see you, Chris Duncan, in the comment section. I don't know if you're telling me to shut up or Brandon Tatum to shut up. If it's me, you can really go suck it. I don't care. I'm not playing these polite games. I don't care. I don't care. I think Brandon Tatum is a sellout. He wants to call Marjorie Taylor Greene a traitor. No, I think the person who did say, I don't think we were Judeo-Christian in the beginning, to now calling people anti-Semitic for questioning Israel's motives, not Jews, the government of Israel. I think he's cashing in $7,000 payments per post or defense of Israel. That's what I think. I think he offers nothing in conversation. I think he offers nothing intellectual in debate. He does none of those things at all. But they got him sitting in the press briefing room asking questions that don't make no sense or they're redundant. Like, what is your point? What is your purpose to be sitting here? You shouldn't be. You should have kept your Tatum report going. You should have hired a better journalist, an actual journalist, and not some cultural commentator that he is, where he offers better insight. And then keep your mind fixed in Black America, because that's why we watched him. It was great to see a Black male conservative that had swag. Because all we had was Ben Carson. That's why I watched him. That's why I watched Brandon Tatum. And now I think he can go kick rocks. I think he's a traitor to the America First movement. They are not contributing at all to the America First movement. It is time for an extremist. It is time for a populist on the right. And Marjorie Taylor Greene is the only one who's saying something about it with the H-1B bill that she's recommended, by actually forcing the Epstein to a vote that Trump did just concede on. He lost that fight. Let's stop pretending that he didn't. One doesn't say one day, I'm not for it, that it's a hoax, and then the next day, release the files. Vote yes to release them. You don't do that because you believe it. You do that because you see you're losing. That's just the reality there. And your Megyn Kellys and your Benny Johnsons and all the rest of them, none of them want to acknowledge it. They don't want to acknowledge that there is a populist movement inside of MAGA, that the independents and the populists, specifically ages 18 to 30, are tired of Trump right now. We're getting upset. Trump is not the champion anymore. Now, I'm not saying it's Marjorie. Again, it's like, it's not about a person. Brandon and the rest of them are Trumpists. They are just Trumpy in. That's just what it is. Trumplicans. That's what the joke was. Used to have a hat that said, I'm a Trump girl, get over it. No, it's not about a man. It's always been about the mission. Always. Now, you guys can go ahead and drop it in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this. I'm ready to go eat dinner, but I just could not stand seeing all of the sameness of the so-called new conservative media like Megyn Kelly and Benny Johnson and Brandon Tatum and all the rest of them. And I hate that Cenk is the one that has his finger on the pulse of the MAGA movement. Michael Knowles sure as the heck didn't. I can't believe Cenk, and I don't like him at all. I can't stand his politics. He's such a Democrat, such a liberal, totally plays identity politics for like forever. Cannot stand Cenk. But why does a liberal identity politics playing pundit understand MAGA better than the so-called MAGA commentators that are Michael Knowles and Brandon Tatum? That doesn't make sense. The math don't math unless you're taking a paycheck from Israel per post. Again, that's what I think. I have no proof of the matter, but when Netanyahu says that he's got to find the influencers, when he has a summit full of influencers and says that, we may have to do what we got to do with TikTok, coincidence? I think not. But that's my time. I'm going to go have myself some dinner. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I just had to let that out. I could just not sit on that. I was getting so angry, so upset. And to be quite honest with you, I don't even care what anybody thinks. You can agree, you can disagree. Tell me to shut up again. I will clap back at you. Don't talk to me that way. I'm a grown woman. You can tell me you disagree. You can say that you don't like political extremism, whether it's from the left or the right. You can say that you don't like populist movements. You can say that you're a Trumplican. That's fine. But then say that. Because I'm fed up, and a lot of us are. And no one is saying it. Someone had to. Don't care if I was all over the place. Y'all catch the drift. We can see that he's probably going to be in favor of this 20-year deal with Israel. That we are going into a regime change war, that we are going to see 600,000 Chinese nationals coming into this country, that he is going to continue with the H-1B visas, and we're about to watch 200-some Republicans disagree with the kill bill of the H-1B visas. That's what we're going to see happen, and that's going to put MTG way ahead with young people and young Americans, specifically 18 to 30. And we will watch Trump's approval numbers dwindle and dwindle and dwindle. And you will see more populists, more extremists on the right pop up. And understand, Nick Fuentes going to just keep rising and rising and rising because Brandon Tatum and the rest want to keep denying. That's all I got to say. Again, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Do you think Marjorie Taylor Greene is America first? And do you think it's Trump? Do you think Brandon Tatum and the rest of them are just, Trumplicans, loyalists to Trump? Or do you think that they're loyal to the movement? Because I've already made my opinion clear. Do you think backing Israel for 20 years is America first? Or do you think rejecting it is the best option? Again, let me know what you think in the comment section. I got no promises that I'll be popping up on a live again tomorrow. It could be another 2 days. It could be another few weeks. I don't know. I like to do my cartoons. I just couldn't not say anything. I was fed up and it had to be said. But God bless you all. I'm going to go have my dinner. Enjoy the rest of your evenings. Until next time.